Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Matthew Maley for MatthewMaley.com. Well, I wanted to do another poker recap video, but when I got done playing last night, I actually then ended up and went over and chilled with my boy Nino, so I wasn't able to do my recap. But I wanted to do it now. Also, I was pretty salty last night, so I was pretty unhappy. I don't think you guys would have liked to have seen my recap from that. But I went over to the series like always, and being that it was Saturday night, it was pretty busy. So I sat there for almost 30 minutes trying to get into a game. But even after 30 minutes, it still had like 9 or 10 people in front of me. So I decided, you know what? I'd actually talked to Nino about playing over Planet Hollywood because, you know, being that it's a pretty popular place, there's lots of drunk money there, and I'd go check it out. So, being that he DJs there, it's cool. You know, I can take breaks, say what's up, and then party right after. So I headed over there and got there probably about, I don't know, probably about 9 o'clock. And got into a game pretty quickly. Got into a game in about 10, 15 minutes. So it's a 1-2 game there, still with a $300 buy-in, which I don't really get. I mean, if you have a 1-3 with a 300 and you have a 1-2 with a 300, I don't really understand that, but I mean, at the end of the day, both games are going to play pretty big. Actually, as weird as it is, the 1-2 game played bigger than the 1-3 games I've been playing. Just some crazy drunk money, which is what I was looking for. So I ended up starting off at one table in the 10 seat. And I don't like being in the 10 seat. I never have. I never will. I don't know why. I just have some mental aspect with it. Just like how I used to be with King Jack. I used to hate Kojak, and, well, now I'm all right with it. But bad memories. So I ended up sitting in the 10 seat, and pretty quick off, actually like third hand in, I picked up Queen 10 and just called the big blind. It was raised by the button, and then I want to say, under the gun +3, if I'm not mistaken. And then the big blind called, and then I called, and the flop came up 10-7 deuce, I believe, or 10-7 tray. So pretty nice board, total rainbow. You know, I'm feeling decent about my Queen 10. So I end up the whatchamacallit, the big blind checks. So I end up betting about half the pot, and dealer folds, big blind calls. Cool. Don't feel great about it, but I feel all right. I mean, very possibly could have ace 10, king 10, you know, something like that. So I decide that I'm gonna, you know, play it somewhat cautiously, but still try to get some money into it. So turn card came, and he checked and I checked, and the turn card was a jack. And I guess I should have bet it, because at the end of the day, what hand really gets better on that card other than if he has Jack 10? You know, nobody's really calling, you know, the board down with that spot, you know? I mean, just not. So I ended up checking there, following him, and then the river card hit a deuce or something. It was a total blank. I mean, nothing got there. And again, he checked, and this time I bet out 35. And he ended up thinking about it for a minute and called, and I rolled over my Queen 10, and he showed a 10 as well. He had 10-6. So I got a pretty decent start from there, was up about 40, 50 or so. Then had a few hands of just running, you know, ace-jack, call or raising, getting 3 calls. Flop comes up, you know, 7, 8, 4. And I bet at it, get a call, turn card comes, another blank, I check, guy raises, you know, okay, or guy bets, I mean, so I let it go. Another time it happened the exact same way with ace queen, except I could set another bullet in on the turn, and he shoved for the rest of his stack. I had to let that go. Then I had another hand, played pretty similar to another guy. I had ace king, offsuit, raised it to 12 pre-flop. And mind you, the raises were going pretty crazy. I mean, 6 times the big blind is a decent size raise. But I raised it to 12, had 2 callers. Flop came out, I want to say it was 7, 9, 10, I think. 6, 7, 9, something like that. Um, and I ended up guy bet into it. He actually bet into it from me. I raised him. He bet 20. I made it 60. Just thinking I could make a power play out of it. He shoved. He only had like another 60 behind. So I had the right money, figuring that I've still got 6 outs at least, plus I had a backdoor flush draw. He ended up he made the raise with a 6 bottom pair. Yeah, so it had to have been 6, 7, 9. And no redraw or anything. No flush draw, no straight draw, nothing. So I wiped my chances, but didn't come. So that one hurt. So that actually, I'd gotten up to about 400, and that one brought me back down to about 300. That one kind of hurt. Actually, I'd gotten up to about 420 or 410. So that one took me back down to right about the 300 mark. And then it just started running really just crappy. Just hand after hand of, Jack deuce, King Trey, Queen 7, Queen 9 suited was a great hand for me. I was raising with that. That's how bad I ran for about 2 hours. Then the really pivotal hand for me was I had ace queen, and the flop came up, what was it? Queen 10. Yeah, Queen 10 4. So, I feel decent about it. Top pair, whatever. Guy checks to me. I bet out. He calls. Okay. Turn card hits a blank. All right. He again checks to me. This time I bet a decent amount. The turn card was like a tray or something. It was a total blank. And no flush draw. So I'm still feeling pretty good with my top pair. And ended up betting, I would say, it was closer to almost 2/3 of the pot. And guy called. So now I'm really confused. And I'm thinking maybe he's got, he's got 2 pair, but I don't know. I just had a weird feeling. River card hits a jack. So again, board is jack, queen, jack, 10, tray 4, something like that. And I don't know why I just had this bad feeling about it. And I checked to him. And I felt that if I bet, he was going to raise all in. So I checked, and he ended up betting 60. And I thought about it for a little while, And, the only hand that, makes sense in that place is 9-8 for the straight or ace-king, which I didn't put him on ace-king just by how he was playing it. I felt he would have popped it on the flop or on the turn. But I don't know. I paused a little bit. So I ended up calling after thinking about it for a while, and he rolls over 9-8. And I just look at him and I go, "What were you calling me on the flop?" He goes, "Oh, I was floating the flop." I was like, "Okay." And then, "Well, I just felt it was coming on the turn." So that was a really big pot. That one got me down to about 180 or so. And then it just went downhill. I had jacks cracked by a 3-outer. Guy spiked an ace. Thankfully, I got away from it, but I still had to put a bet in on the flop. I finally picked up kings, couldn't get any action. Picked up aces, couldn't get any action. And then ended up, I was down to, I'd gotten so low. I was down to like 50 chips and was steaming a little bit and ended up just shoving all in blind after 2 people had called. And I specifically said I was going all in. I really was just trying to gamble. I should have just taken my money and gone and put it on red or black or something, because I was so mentally just not at the table. And that's the worst thing that can happen to you as a poker player, is when that does happen. So I ended up, it was funny, part of the reason I did this because another guy at the table had done it a little bit before and actually had picked up, it was this crazy hand. He shoved without looking. The flop comes up, ace, jack, whatever, 2 spades. The guy who called him rolls over king 6 of spades. The guy hasn't looked at his cards yet. He flips over 1 and it's an ace. It's like, oh, okay, Or I'm sorry, no, it's an ace. So he's got a pair, but he's essentially dead. from what he knows. River card hits another jack. So now there's 2 jacks on board. He rolls over, just starts peeling it back, sweated. And this is after this guy feels it is flush, his nut flush is beautiful. Rolls it over and it's a jack. So the dude spikes a boat. So it was like this crazy exciting hand. You know, it was only a $200 hand, but it was definitely exciting for the table. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe that'll happen for me. So I ended up, a guy called me with ace 5, and neither one of us paired up, but I sweated it all the way down too until the river, and had 3-6 offsuit. And no pair, no straight, no flush, nothing. So guy won with ace 5 offsuit. So I ended up leaving from there. I actually went over, said it was something, you know, went back to my car, got changed, and headed back and chilled out for a little while. So I was pretty heated about it just because it was, you know, there was 4 hands that, I mean, just bad, you know, just hands that I really should have won, you know, and 3 plays from people that I just don't know what they're doing, and I know that's what I want. I want them to make those plays and those calls so that when I, you know, the times that they don't get there, I'm getting all that dead money, but it just seems like this whole trip, every time it's gotten there. So it was brutal. It was a very difficult session, especially because I started off playing well and I felt really comfortable, and then it just went downhill. So my bankroll's a little light right now. I had to pay rent and some stuff here, so I'm waiting until Friday before I really play much more. I might go play one more session before then, depending on how my money's looking. But definitely, worst case scenario, I'll be back on it on Friday. I'll probably play some Friday during the day, and then it's time for EDC, baby. Chill. So definitely stay tuned here. You'll be getting lots of videos about that, EDC, and all kinds of stuff. So until the next video, I'm officially signing off. As always, thank you everybody for all your comments, everything like that. I really appreciate it. Especially dude who said that I should have my own session on my own segment on Quad Jacks, because as you guys know, that was the very first interview I ever did was with Marco on Quad Jacks. So I'm gonna take that to him and let him know that he should put me on. So who knows? Maybe by the end of the summer I'll have my own segment on Quad Jacks. That'd be pretty awesome. But thanks everybody for the comments and always checking out my videos. I really appreciate it. So until the next video, as always, check out the rest of them. You can always just go to MatthewMailey.com. I'm finally getting that updated. I apologize. As you guys know, I've had a very tenuous relationship with GoDaddy, so it is kind of messed up still. But of course, everything's on YouTube, so just search for MatthewMailey.com. I'm sorry, search for Matthew Mailey Poker on YouTube. You'll get all my info and all my videos, so you can like, comment, and subscribe. Or you can always go and check me out on Facebook. Search for Matthew Mailey Poker, where you can like my page, as well as I'm posting videos up on there. And finally, you can always check me out on Twitter, at Matthew Mailey. So I'm always tweeting about the games, the Heat, the Thunder, all that. Lots of poker action and everything. So stay tuned. And as always, peace out, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend.